It is Sleep Week here on Your Morning Ottawa. Today, we are focusing on teens. A staggering 73% of high school students are not getting enough sleep. And for that reason, we are paging Dr. Paul to get his advice. Good morning to you, Dr. Paul.
Good morning.
Sleep. It is
Oh,
just so essential
Yeah.
to our well-being.
Yeah.
Bodies, bones grow, cells grow,
Everything.
and grow healthy, but
Sure.
you need the sleep.
Yes, you do.
Okay, but especially for teens,
Yeah.
how much sleep is needed when we're talking about teens?
Well, you know what? At least 8 to 10 hours.
Okay.
People think it's less, right?
Yes.
They're surprised. Your younger kids up to 12 hours, but teens need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And it's important, as you talked about bones and developing, the brain develops. During
Yeah.
puberty, a lot of stuff happens in the brain. And so they need the sleep for the bodies to recover and for the brain to develop, right? And so what happens with teenagers is because of puberty, they tend to not be able to fall asleep early, later. So that's why a lot of schools are looking at starting high schools a bit later in the morning to allow
Yes.
the kids to get the 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
Dr. Paul, I remember it was painful getting
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
and trying to get to school on
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
particularly in high school.
Sure.
I was dragging. It
Exactly.
was so hard. So
Yeah.
we go to bed naturally a bit later
Yes.
because the body is still moving and growing and
then-
working.
Exactly.
The mind.
The mind. That's that's the effect of puberty.
Puberty.
On the growing
I
brain.
got it. Okay.
And so, during that time, you need that extra sleep. But
Okay.
the problem is that they can't fall asleep that early.
It's so tough.
that's why they have a hard time at school. A lot
Yeah.
of schools start at 7:30, 8 in the morning,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Which means they got to get up at 6.
Right.
You know?
Which really they should be in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Exactly, which
but
they can't.
there's no way.
So they're
Yeah.
usually in bed at 10, 11.
Yeah, and
So
they're
to
not
get that
getting
in,
enough
that's
sleep.
right. So
Okay.
I've been working with a lot of school boards
Okay.
to try to look at changing the school times.
That could really help.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's move on
Well,
to the next one
and this
here.
this is really important because most teenagers are not getting enough.
They're not
And
getting enough
a
sleep.
recent study looked at them, and 73% are not getting enough.
Okay.
So it's like a quarter are. So that is a problem.
Okay.
And there's stuff that parents can do and people can do,
Mm-hmm.
but really, there are consequences. There are getting enough sleep,
Yes.
of course, benefits, but not
Yeah.
getting enough sleep, there are consequences.
Okay, so that's the
Yeah.
next board right here.
Yeah.
What are the consequences of
Okay.
not getting enough sleep as a teenager?
Yeah. So as a teenager, first of all, you're going to school, right? You're not going to be alert.
Yeah.
So you're going to have school difficulties, learning difficulties, irritability, behavior problems, aggressive behavior, really social problems, all these things that will get in the way of your normal sort of, psychological upbringing and
Yes.
schooling, right?
Yeah.
Academic performance. But what is more important as well is that we know now, longer term,
Yeah,
teenagers
there you
who chronically do not get enough sleep have higher rates of chronic diseases like obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even more prone to mental health issues
Yes.
later on in life, and more prone to accidents. And of course, if you're sleepy and lethargic in the morning, you're more prone to accidents.
That's true. I mean, you think of just like an athlete. I'm going to take
Yeah.
that as an example. The coach goes, okay, got to get your full night's sleep
Mm-hmm.
because tomorrow you have to perform.
Exactly.
So you sleep, you get that sleep
Yeah.
because it's regenerative,
Yeah,
right? And then
exactly.
you're ready to face the day. If
Exactly.
you're not getting enough sleep, and now we're back
Yeah.
to the teens, you're going to underperform.
Exactly.
It can really affect
And
you.
then when you bring that to learning, right?
Yes, yes.
So what happens is you learn in the morning, you learn
Yeah.
during the day,
Sure.
and at night your brain kind of,
Yeah.
stores it,
Sure,
stores that
sure.
information. And
Okay.
if that process is disturbed, then
Yeah.
that's why you have learning issues.
Okay, finally
Yeah.
here,
So
what can
yeah.
help them
Well,
sleep
so
better?
the good news is a couple of things you can do, and this applies to everybody,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
of all ages, but particularly for teenagers. First thing is to maintain a routine. Regular time every day. Let's say you want to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, do it every day.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because a lot of people say, you know what, okay, I'll go to bed late every day, but I'll catch up on the weekends.
Yes,
Catching
yes.
up will not help. That's
See,
the
I
problem.
was gonna
So,
ask you that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
people don't realize that. The other thing too is you want to have, a calm room, calm, quiet room. Importantly, what I'm going to say, in the
what you're
day
gonna
of
say.
digital era,
I know what you're gonna
no screen time
Yeah,
around
yeah,
bedtime,
yeah.
pre-bedtime.
Yes,
And obviously avoid caffeine.
Yeah,
Before
that's
bed.
so true.
So
Okay.
establishing those routines. So that's why we tell parents, even at a younger age, before their teens,
Yes.
establish those routines.
Okay.
And kids will then, learn to do that. And so, okay, fine.
Okay.
A younger child might go to bed at 8.
Yeah, sure.
An older one might go to 10. But if they do the same routine, it'll help them
Okay.
fall asleep much more easily.
Oh, Dr. Paul, it's so great to have you on here talking about sleep during our sleep week and
Yes.
talking about sleep for teens, loving all those great reasons. Thank you again for stopping
Pleasure.
by.